If you couldn't already tell what's happening in crypto from the last couple weeks, it is so obvious today that big institutions want in on crypto. We just got news. Deutsche Bank is seeking crypto custody license approval in Germany. It's not the only news. There's even something bigger that's happening here today with some big exchanges trying to start up, actually already starting up a huge new crypto exchange. I want to talk about that. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. Maybe hit the like button. If you're going to buy a Tesla, like that car, you can check out the link underneath the video to get a little bit of a discount. And then I can also try 3 months of full self-driving, which I've always wanted to do. Depending on what state you're in, a Tesla is actually cheaper than a Camry as well after you get some returns from the government. So Deutsche Bank is seeking crypto custody license approval in Germany. This is one of the biggest banks in Europe now trying to hold crypto for their clients. Obviously, they have a lot of clients that want this, or they think that this is going to be something that they need to offer going forward to be competitive. And I don't blame them. From what's been coming out in the US over the last week or so, BlackRock filed a spot ETF, and rumor is Fidelity is going to make a bid on Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So banks and large institutions in the US are positioning themselves for the next Bitcoin halving. It makes sense for European banks to do the same thing. However, now there's also some other news that some of these banks are getting into, not just the ETF game, but they're also setting up exchanges. Now, it kind of makes sense, as we've said, push out all the native crypto companies like Coinbase, like Binance, sue them, sue what they're offering, or not sue, but declare what they're offering as securities. We've seen that with a lot of altcoins. Basically just crush the market, try to wipe out as many crypto holders as possible, and set these things up for the next Bitcoin halving. Buy as much as you can, because this is an easy couple $1 trillion for them to make, at least in the next 5 years or so. So they're trying to get their hands on as much as possible. And today we got news, actually just a couple minutes ago, crypto exchange backed by Citadel Securities, Fidelity, and Schwab starts operating EDX markets. Now what they're doing is they're not actually directly handling customers' digital assets. Basically, they're setting them up on the platform, allowing them to agree on a price, and then they're not the ones actually sending the crypto. The firm moves crypto and cash between each other to settle the trades. Later this year, they're planning to launch a clearinghouse to facilitate the process of settling trades. But even then, it plans to use third-party banks and crypto custodians to hold customer assets. So now, with FTX going down, with them suing Binance and Coinbase, they can't just only have ETFs. That's great for people that want to set it and forget it in retirement accounts, but how about the people that want to trade? Well, they're creating this massive marketplace where people can agree on cryptos and dollars, agree on the prices of different cryptos. So it's quite clear what they're trying to do. They're filling in the gap. TradFi is filling in the gap that the SEC has cleared up for them. Citadel, Schwab, Fidelity will gobble up US spot Bitcoin and ETH volumes. BlackRock Bitcoin Trust will be approved quickly, followed by Fidelity and a host of others. This was all coordinated. Now, there are some rumors that Gary Gensler may be fired here soon. It could be possible. Even though he has cleared the way for some of these large banks, it's kind of been a little bit too obvious. At least that's what the rumor is. Even, depending on, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, a lot of people are pissed off that he's made it so obvious what he's trying to do. Basically go after everyone in the crypto industry, clear the way, and even the people that wanted this, they didn't want it so obvious. And I think for all of us sitting here, it makes a lot of sense. You want to clear the way so that way you can gobble up as much as possible, scare a bunch of people out of their crypto, buy it up yourself, and then give your stamp of approval. Now, I don't know if Gary Gensler is actually going to be kicked out, if he's going to be fired. Wouldn't surprise me, but it may be a while still. Now, this is not all doom and gloom, right? If you're watching this video, you probably didn't sell your crypto. You're probably looking at buying more crypto. And if you can see this happening behind the scenes, That's great because you know what's coming. This may be one of the first times where retail investors can actually get in before the suits, even when it's so obvious. I mean, past results are not always indicative of future results, but a lot of the time the results rhyme. We've seen Bitcoin halving after Bitcoin halving after Bitcoin halving, always pushing up the price to new all-time highs. And we've had a lot of times sitting below $30,000. Even if we go up just to the previous all-time high, that's still over 2x. And with institutions rushing in that they do not get declined for ETFs. You can see it everywhere on Twitter. I think I've repeated this a couple times too. BlackRock been approved 575 out of 576 times. They do not get declined on ETFs. They are too smart to do that, especially on something like this where it's a little bit risky. They don't want that attention. So it's almost I don't want to say a dead bang lock, but it's pretty likely that they get approved for this ETF, and that is due in about 9 months, 8 months, right before the Bitcoin halving. A lot of institutions start piling money in. It becomes obvious that Bitcoin is a commodity. I think it's pretty obvious now. The SEC just has not quite said it. They have not labeled it a security, and maybe they've said it in the past, but they have not given quite the stamp of approval for large investors to buy up Bitcoin or Ethereum. But it's pretty obvious now that those are in a different class compared to all other cryptocurrencies. So they're paving the way, and then money will rush in. Bitcoin halving will take place. Retail investors will get greedy. They'll pay any amount to buy Bitcoin through these exchanges. They'll be making billions of dollars on the back end through the exchanges, crypto custody services. Your mom, your brother, your cousin will all be asking how to buy crypto, where to keep it. Some of the people will keep it on these different custody services so that way they don't have to deal with losing their own keys or setting up their own wallets or anything like that. And we will benefit. We'll benefit because we were willing to buy when no one else was willing to buy. We understood the value of the cryptocurrency, the underlying technology. We understand what it does. We understand the properties of it, why it's beneficial. And we are not going to paper hand like a lot of other people will. Even after the next pump cycle where Bitcoin hits 100,000, then maybe 150,000, 200,000, and then it starts to fall. People will get fearful. They'll buy it 200,000 and then sell at 110,000. They'll paper hand it when they should have been taking profits on the way up, selling it or buying more on the way down. That's how it should be. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video though. I think this is all, I don't want to say good news because I don't want these large companies to own crypto. But the fact is, at some point, if you want the market cap to go up, bigger institutions have to come in. They have to flood money in. It can't be just all retail investors buying it off some decentralized exchange because that's too difficult. There's not going to be enough money flowing in for that. So at this point, we still have some more time to buy, but keep in mind there is a ticking time bomb on the next Bitcoin halving. So if you want to buy crypto at some point, it's probably smart to buy it in the next couple months. Of course, we could always fall down. I think it makes sense to keep some money on the sidelines, and dominance is going up. So I've been saying this for 6 months or a year. I think dominance will continue to move up. So I'm not really allocating towards altcoins. I think there's going to be a time and a place for that. I'll make a video when that does happen. But most of them are just bleeding to Bitcoin at this point. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the links underneath the video. Thank you for hitting subscribe and turning on that bell notification. I may be making a video here later today on a stock that I actually sold and one that I bought with the proceeds. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments section. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.